what's critical when you're promoted into a new position or you take on a new job is the first 90 days. A lot of organizations do not have effective onboarding procedures when they advance someone from one level to another. They may give them a list of responsibilities and what they, who they're over and what their responsibilities are. But as far as effective onboarding, to say, okay, let's identify what your talents are and let's see how you can apply them to this position. How many of you work for big companies? How many of you have seen a vacancy because someone quit or someone was terminated and they basically picked up the closest person to that office and moved them in and said, you're it, right? It happens. It happens. It's not the most efficient way to do it. Discover your value to that position or to that company. I hear people say, I'm looking for a job, I'm dropping off resumes. What is the value you're bringing to that prospective employer? What is your value? It has to be a value proposition other than, I want a job, I need a job. I want to work for your company in this position because I feel like I have this skill set that I can bring, and here's the end result of you hiring me. Here's the end result of what you're going to get for your money. When people move into a new position, whether it's going to work for a new company or moving up within the same company, one of the first inclinations is, I've got to go in and change something. And change for the sake of change doesn't do anything except tick other people off, right? How many of you have seen that happen? Where you've had a new leader come in, a new boss, a new manager, and all of a sudden they want to change, they want to mix some things up. And the things they mix up don't even make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this? Yet they feel like they have to establish themselves. And then you have employee to entrepreneur. You're with your significant other and you're planning a dinner party and you're spending all day Saturday prepping the food and going over recipes, and look how happy they are. They're just so thrilled being in the kitchen working together because that night they're going to have a group of friends over, maybe a half a dozen. And they're going to have a wonderful dinner with wine, and the friends are going to say, oh, I can't believe this food. You need to open a restaurant, right? It's like the guy at the duck camp who fixes a fabulous gumbo, gets praised and praised and praised. I'm going to open a restaurant. I'm going to open a restaurant. So you open a restaurant, but you don't realize at the time that opening a restaurant means you're going to have to serve this many people 3 times a night. These tables are going to turn over 3 times. You're going to have demanding diners out there. Everything's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be the happy camper you were with your significant other in the kitchen, right? You're going to turn into Gordon Ramsay. Okay? And what's he going to tell you? Gordon Ramsay, I would hate to work in the kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. I owned a restaurant at one time, by the way. One of the careers. And I learned a valuable lesson, not to open a restaurant.